Good evening. The British government has expressed serious and growing concerns about the detention of up to 1 million Uyghur Muslims in China. Last night, a BBC investigation revealed the construction of a vast network of internment centres in the western Chinese region of Xinjiang. China refers to these secure prison-like facilities as vocational education and training centres aimed at fighting radicalisation and terrorism. Our China correspondent John Sudworth has been speaking to people who have managed to flee the region, among them British ethnic Uyghurs who are calling on the UK government to do more to help their families.
You don't see long beards in Xinjiang anymore. They've been banned. Mosques have fallen silent, with no sign of prayer. But no one dares to speak. The constant monitoring and following sees to that. Some, though, have found refuge in Turkey, a place with ties of language and faith to the Uyghurs, Xinjiang's main Muslim minority. Just reciting an Islamic verse was enough, this man says, to put him in a Chinese detention camp. His family, he fears, are still in one.
I
don't know where my mother and father are, or my brothers and sisters. The Chinese government wants us to renounce our beliefs, our ethnicity and our humanity.
Another former camp inmate says he was forced to sing Communist Party songs and recite China's new anti-extremism laws under the threat of violence.
Every day someone was beaten. There were two men, one with a belt, the other just kicked. If we fell down, they made us kneel again.
Those we've spoken to are the lucky ones. They fled to Turkey in 2015. Since then, there are very few reports of anyone being released from the camps at all.
The testimony we've heard here is impossible to independently verify, of course, but what's striking are the consistencies, the descriptions of the routines in the camps, the brainwashing techniques, and most tellingly, perhaps, the results. Not love and loyalty for the Chinese Communist Party, but a deep and lasting resentment.
Family as well as faith is being broken. When Bilkis fled Xinjiang with her children, her baby daughter, Sakine, did not yet have a passport. Her dad planned to bring her later, but now he too has been taken away.
If my daughter could hear me now, I'd say nothing but sorry. There's nothing worse than not knowing where she is, whether she's alive or dead.
Are they going to turn us back here?
Back in Xinjiang, we try to visit a camp where we've heard 10,000 people may be held.
We just shut down the whole road.
But in front of us, the police close the whole highway. For repair, they say. We try other routes, but every time, at roadblock after roadblock,
we're not going to get anywhere close to it.
There's no way through. The point where we're forced to give up is just a short distance away from a large new camp, with the watchtowers clearly visible.
Forgotten Muslims.
The Chinese police have a long reach, it seems.
Government hijacking.
Mahmoud Turdi, a British Uyghur living in London, says they are pressuring his family in Xinjiang because of his campaigning work.
All my family members had been harassed by the police security forces, asking them put pressure on me to keep my mouth shut, do not say any single words against the Chinese government.
This is my mom's, me and my brother.
Raila Abulayati, another British Uyghur, received a message last year saying her mum had been taken away. 66-year-old Shamushina Pida is thought to have been in a camp ever since.
The Chinese government, they want to delete the Uyghur nations from the world. So we need foreign government to act as soon as possible before it's too late.
Uyghurs are not missing, China says. They're being educated. But parents have gone, whole extended families have been taken away, and a culture, a religion and a people are in crisis. John Sudworth, BBC News, Xinjiang.
And we can talk now to John Sudworth, who is now in Beijing. And extraordinary testimony that you have heard. What has been the response both internationally and from China to your investigation?
Well, there was already unease over China's policies in Xinjiang. Our reporting over the past 2 days will have added to that significantly. The UK Foreign Office speaking of its serious and growing concerns. The US State Department dismissing as preposterous China's claim that these camps provide job training. And if you want to get an idea of what China thinks its policies are for, listen to this from a Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson today, describing the policies as designed to cure the disease and save the patient. Some will wonder, of course, given everything we've shown in our reporting, why there isn't more international outrage. And you have to ask yourself this, Sophie, given the UK's shifting international alignments, given its need for China as a trading partner in the future, how likely is it, beyond expressing concern, that the UK government will really push Beijing over a remote Muslim people in what is, after all, often a forgotten corner of the world?
John Sudworth in Beijing, thank you. The FBI is investigating a number of suspects